one thing that I used to use when I was still competing years ago was an old shirt, and we cut the sleeves off real high. So there really wasn't a whole lot of carryover in it, but the running joke was, you know, I would tell people that I don't get shit out of it from a carryover, then they'd come back at me and say, well then.
Get the fuck up. Simon says, get the fuck up. Throw your hands in the sky.
Question is, can you use a bench shirt if you lift alone in your basement? I think the location's really not all that specific. It's more, can you lift alone if you use a bench shirt? You can, but it's not going to be real easy. Steve Deal, who's been a advisor for me and Elite FTS for a number of years, trains by himself, and he uses a metal jack bench shirt. And because the shirt has straps on the back shoulder blade area, he's able to hook those onto a J-cup or a monolift hook to kind of pull his arm into the shirt to help get it on. But then you run into the issue of, you know, he's still got to get the weight out himself, which he can do. You know, he's learned to do. He's taken out over 700 pounds, benched it alone, you know, with nobody in there, obviously using spot pins or safety straps or something or the other for spotting purposes. So while it's something I highly do not recommend, because with a bench shirt, that bar can go anywhere, man. It can take a trip to your face. I wouldn't recommend it unless you want to use it just for safety reasons, and then you're going to be using a shirt which is going to be 2 or 3 sizes too big. One thing that I used to use when I was still competing years ago was an old shirt, and we cut the sleeves off real high. So there really wasn't a whole lot of carryover in it, but the running joke was, you know, I would tell people that I don't get shit out of it from a carryover, then they'd come back at me and say, well, then don't wear it. And so there may have been a little bit of carryover, which wasn't really the point of wearing it. And if there was a carryover, it wasn't much. I'd say no more than 20, 30 pounds. But it helped keep my shoulders stable. And it was an open back, which allowed me to kind of get into it real easy. It didn't have any arms on it. And then there's Velcro in the back, which that still posed a problem for me because I couldn't get the damn Velcro shut. So I'd have to have somebody put it in there. And then because of that, it was able to keep my shoulders in a better position when I did any max effort work or when I did any of the speed work. But at the same time, even with that, you begin to become dependent on that. So when it's not there, shit's gonna hurt even worse. So it just becomes a trail of diminishing returns, that if you have a meet coming up or something that you're training for, once that's over and done, then you want to back out of that stuff and fix the issue the best that you possibly can. So to circle back around, can you bench along with a bench shirt? Yes. You can probably do the same thing with a squat suit, deadlift suit. There's always a way, if you're willing to think outside of the box on how you're going to get the straps and the shit on. Would I recommend it? No. If you're going to use it for safety, it's going to be bigger sized or modified in one way or another. And then if that's the case, once that goal date or meet competition is achieved, then get out of it and fix the issue to where you don't need it or have to depend and rely on it. You know, the best specific thing for a beginner or a novice to do is just something like, Dave, you got like 6 weeks of glycogen in your system right now. You know that, so I kind of knew it was going to be a long